All right, we're back in the shop to shoot uh, High Voltage Shark volume number 4. So we vacuum bagged the skins last night, or at least one half of the skin last night, or both half. I already pulled one out of the mold just to see what it was before I started filming. Um, Weight wise, we're a little bit heavier than I wanted, about half an ounce more than I really wanted, but it's pretty close. Um, I mean, if you look at it, it's pretty good. I mean, there's a couple spots like right here where it didn't get the greatest lamination, but that's minor. Other than that, it's pretty good. I mean, nice flat matte surface on the inside. So far so good. Again, probably half an ounce heavier than I really wanted to be, but 2 3/4 ounces. Probably should have been like 2 1/4. Um, Probably too much resin. Oh, I definitely know too much resin on the outside skin. I could have got away with less. Uh, but as we go, we'll get better, right? We'll continue to improve on it. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to move the camera angle to kind of give you a better angle of this, so you can kind of um, see debag it and pull it out, and you'll notice that the peel ply breather cloth will come off better in this case. So Dan Winship, if you're watching, this stuff is definitely better. All right, so I'll move the camera. All right, so here we are. I'm going to remove it from the bag. So I'm going to pull the clips. Oh man. Yeah. So now the peel ply is going to come off. Let's see. How do you like that? Stuff is much better to use. It comes right off. You can see it soaks up a lot of the resin. So, so Dan Winship, I know you're gonna give me a comment on it. So that one was for you. A lot easier to get released. All right. So now just gotta carefully work this free. So what I do is grab the excess material on the edge. And what you want to do is just work a couple of spots. I try to work from the leading edge. And what you do is just work it around. You'll start to break it free out more. So just carefully keep working it. It'll start to come free. Ooh. Sometimes you could use a little help with it. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to dig into the piece at all. And you'll see it'll start to come. In some spots it'll stick. Just be careful in some spots if it sticks. Just carefully work it, especially on the leading edge. Just take your time. And all of a sudden it'll just start to come. Just take your time. Yeah. So it's almost there. Okay. Voila. Okay, and the piece released. This one looks pretty good. I mean, all the flashing on it, but if you look at it, I'm looking at it, there's no delamination really anywhere. Um, that was that one spot in the mold that could have been better. Yeah, this skin actually has almost no defects on it. That's pretty good. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna measure weight wise here. All right, so it's about 3 and change, but if I get the flashing off, it'll be down. Definitely could use less resin on the outer layer for sure. Probably can get a half an ounce off there easily. But overall, not bad. Um, so pretty happy with it overall. All right, so now what I do is I put it back in the mold and I'm going to sand off some of the edges. So with a block, I just take it and I'm kind of doing it off camera. So, all right, so overall, happy with the release agent that I used. Definitely was good. Um, overall, very good. Pretty happy with it. Now I do take a razor blade now. We just work the edge here. We just cut the edge away. Just carefully cut it away. Don't cut into the wings. So if anything, leave a little bit of lip. You can always sand that edge off. Now I haven't decided yet um, whether or not I'm going to use ribs. I may not use ribs. I may use that 007 Carbon as ribs like I did on High Voltage 11. I'm still not sure yet. Yeah. The Shark have ribs in them. Um, although I was happy with the no rib construction on the last one. I thought it worked out really well. Um, I'm not sure I'll deviate from what they do with the Shark, but I still got some time to think about it. Um, The no rib one is definitely a faster way to build it. Um, I don't know if there's going to be tradeaways. Probably some tradeaway to not having rib, not having a structure in there. But we'll see. What I'll do is I'll just sand all this in. The things that I think I would do differently on the next one, what I'll do is I'm gonna work on forming the foam ahead of time, heat it up in the mold before anything's in it, and really work on getting to the exact size and trimming all this flashing off ahead of time. Um, so I'll probably do that on the next one, on the next set of skins. So the only thing nice about this is, hmm, let's just say I get better. The next two panels come out much lighter, will come out later. I want What I can do is I can put the two lightest panels together. I got a choice. Put the two lightest panels together and put them on the inboard, put two heaviest in the outboard, or I can mix and match to get them almost a little bit equal, or just have the outboard weigh a little bit more. Therefore, so there are some options here, I guess I would say. That's not like detrimental because if I can make the next two lighter, uh, I can balance it out. So, but I'm pretty happy with the overall finish of it and the strength. But definitely what I would probably do. I mean, there's a lot of definitely use less resin for sure. You just take my block and just work with flappings. So I'll put it back in the mold and just sand on the edges some more. I use a block here. So I happen to have 120 paper on it. A little rough, but fitting on this sheet. So hopefully you guys like the this camera angle better. I don't know if it's better. I gotten some feedback that it was, but if I'll be willing to try anything if it makes it better. So if you want me to try a different camera angle, let me know. But my hope is that you're able to kind of see down what we're actually doing better from the side angle one. So what I do is I don't lay it flat on this right now. I kind of take it on the edge to kind of get the edge of it. And when I get down to the edge, then I'll go flat across. So what happens is you end up cleaning up the edge. All right. Right. Not bad at all. Probably an ounce heavier total than I wanted, but I'm not far off where I need to be. There you go. So there's a wing. All right. So I gotta set up the next one to lay up. So what I have to do now is just clean the molds. All right. So overall, first wing skins, pretty good. Pretty happy with them. Next steps are I gotta decide whether or not I'm gonna use ribs. I may use ribs. I'm not 100% sure. What I do is I put half ribs in each one. And then I got to figure out the landing gear layout. Um, well, well, it is a copy of a Shark. I am using my fuselage on it, which is gonna be a little different. And the fuse gear, the gear, I'm not gonna use fuse gear. I'm gonna use wing gear. Um, and it'll be in a little bit different place than the Shark. So I got to kind of think about all those things and kind of interpolate them out. Um, but you can see on this mold, and well, you can't, I don't know if well you can see it, but if you can see it real close, it actually marks where the ribs go. So where they were putting ribs. So it looks like there's 8 ribs or so. All right, let's see. So there's about eight ribs or 9 ribs in here. I could use the 007 carbon as ribs, which will work. Um, I got to kind of think about which is going to be the best option, the lightest option that yields the most strength. So I'll kind of think through that. But next steps are we're gonna have to prep the molds for the next. So I'll kind of go through some of that. Stuff's gonna have to dry, but I'll pull the skins out from over here. So first things first, what you want to do is you want to clean the mold out, wipe it down. So what I'll do is just kind of wipe it clean. I'll take some Windex on a rag. Just to get out any loose paint chips or anything. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wax the mold. And then I have this new release I want to try that I got from Fiberglass. I want to try that and see how it works. I'm gonna clean this like schmutz in there. So what I'll do is I have Portal wax I'm going to use. All right, so here's the stuff I use. Pardal paste number 2. Had good success with it. What you do is put a couple coats on, wipe it down. You know, um, so what we got to do is you wax the mold down. Um, Make sure you wax all the surfaces too. Anywhere you're gonna get resin, it just makes it a whole lot better because it'll come right off. Um, all right. We got a terry cloth rag. Or a microfibers rag if you can get one. All right. So here's the stuff I'm gonna try. It's this fiberglass 1153. It's a water-based release agent, and what it says kind of talks about one-step release, compatible with all resins, very little needed. Top of just reading through it. Easy application. Starting with a polish mold is what I have. And let's see. Okay, got it. Just reading this through. All right, so you don't need a lot of this according to this. Um, all right, it says simply mist or wipe on fiber release onto the molded surface. Allow it to dry to a film state. 5 minutes is usually sufficient. One application provides multiple releases. So according to this, you get multiple releases out of it. We're gonna find out. So what you do is just remove the wax here. All right. So I'm cleaning off the wax. I'll put a second coat on this one, and I'll wipe off the other one. These molds have been used before, so obviously by the Yosenkos and Arestas, they've been used already, so they're pretty well, say seasoned molds. So they've been used a lot before. Um, so yeah, so it makes them pretty easy to use. So I likely could get away with just wax. If I just wax the mold, I'd probably be okay. It would probably release very cleanly, especially with paint on it. Um, but I want to try this stuff. Alright, just wiping off any of the excess and then we'll polish it out in a minute. I'll go with the other one, which has been sitting a while. So I'm gonna go get a microfiber cloth. That'll really cover the rest of this. Paper towels work pretty good usually. And just put another coat of wax on. Yeah. Well, of course, I can't find any microfiber cloths. Got them somewhere. Mm. They're probably buried since I got back from the Nats. Okay. I think I'm just really cleaning off the wax. Um, nothing really here earth shattering that I'm doing. I will show the application of the new stuff to see how it kind of goes on. All right, I was able to find one. Find the microfiber cloth and paint chip in there. Yeah. What you want to do is just get all the wax out. So when you have a brand new mold, you got to really wax it probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 times. Um, and new molds, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll even use PVA. I'll wax and PVA it just to guarantee a release. Um, there's really nothing worse than pulling a piece out and having it stick. All right, so we got a couple coats on here. Let's just clean up the edges. All right, so now we're going to go with this stuff, and it says just simply mist or wipe it on to mold the surface, allow it to dry to a film state. 5 minutes is usually sufficient. So one application provides most. So let's see how this works. Let's see. It says water soluble, so it's environmentally friendly as well. All right, so we're gonna get a couple paper towels. So on all the flanges too, you want to get this stuff. All right, so what we're gonna do now is 7:39. All right, so I'm just wiping any excess out. Hmm. All right, we'll give it a few minutes and we gotta let it dry. And um, as it's drying, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna set it up to paint it in the mold, and I should be able to paint it down here. I will turn my exhaust fan on, so hopefully it doesn't drown out all the noise, or it does drown out the noise. So yeah, we want to give it a few minutes to kind of film. It says it creates a film. Let's see what that looks like. It's very slick. You can feel it. It's pretty interesting. All right. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. Ah, so I think that's something. I don't know how well heat will affect it. Huh, pretty interesting. All right, what I do have to do is cut the next set out. So I'll probably have to clean these molds again. Uh, Just cut it out. Yeah. All right, so I got my pieces out here now. What I will say is this stuff is really slick. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean, and you don't seem to need a lot of it, and it's very slick. So I don't think, yeah, I mean, it really should be really good from this. I'll probably recoat them. How did I have to? I should have cut the foam out on it first, but so be it. All right, so now what I really want to do is work on getting the shape a little bit better than I did last time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my heat gun and really warm this thing up pretty good. Actually, I'm going to do, hold on, I just want to see something. So I got a small test piece here. I want to see what it takes to actually melt this. Stuff seems to be able to take a tremendous amount of heat. All right. Here's what we're going to try and do. We're going to heat it up really good, and we're going to try and form it in the mold better. All right. All right, so I got some weights. All right, we need one more weight, and we'll be good. I see something with the weight. All right, so now weighing it down. So as you heat it up, it will start to bend and form better. Okay. So it really starts to bend. When you put a little heat on it, it will definitely start to conform. Um, all right, so that's not bad. Okay. Man, I can't get it to make that curve. I was trying. All right, so we'll do is we'll cut off the trailing edge here. All right, and what we're going to do now is we're going to cut off the edge. All right, so what I'm doing is using the 26 blade here because it's long, and I'm just carefully holding it down to the leading edge and scoring. Um, Obviously, taking the utmost care not to cut your fingers here. All right, so I'm just kind of fitting it in around here. Okay. All right, now. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna vacuum this one up. All right. So now what I want to do is what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint this one now in the mold and let it dry. Um, so I gotta turn the exhaust fan on. So let's see how this works. All right, so here's the stuff I'm using: Valspar lacquer. It's white. I want to see how it reacts now with it. So I have ventilation running here. Hopefully the mic doesn't pick it up, but we'll see. Just really want to shake this well. I want to see how to paint adheres to this stuff. We'll know right away if we have a problem. So I do is I just paint on a light coat here. Really just want to see how this dries. So I'll give it a minute. Um, Normally I shoot this outside, but the humidity is about 100% humidity. So in my basement I have ventilation. So I'll just let this dry for a minute, and we'll be back. All right, so just really dusting on a coat of paint. This is the other wing panel. It's drying up now, so it'll probably be dry 15, 20 minutes. I'm gonna let it sit for a good hour, and then we're ready to lay up the next one. So I'll lay up the second one off camera, and I'll just show you the finished product when I'm done. So let me see if I can get a little bit of a close up here. So if you look, it's just really enough white in this case to cover everything. So um, hope you guys are really enjoying this. Again, if you have any feedback or comments, please let me know. But this is tape 4 of the high voltage shark build continues. Thanks, everyone.